Chinese brand BYD has been causing disturbances with its amazing assembling abilities, so how does their most memorable module display for Europe, the Seal U DM-i, stack facing the exclusive standards? During the test drive, there were not many recognizable issues, and the vehicle is very reasonable contrasted with other electric vehicles. Chinese makers have been attempting to break into the European market by presenting an ever-increasing number of electric vehicles. Perhaps the greatest player in this field is BYD, and presently they're acquiring their most memorable fitting half and half to Germany, called the BYD Seal U DM-i. The Seal U DM-i is a 5-entryway SUV estimating 4.78 meters long. It flaunts an electric engine, 145 kilowatts per 198 horsepower, and another 1.5-liter 4-chamber petroleum motor, 96 kilowatts per 130 horsepower, with a complete result of 160 kilowatts per 218 horsepower and pinnacle force of 300 Newton meters. The base lift model, estimated at €38,900, incorporates progress highlights like a head-up show, all-encompassing rooftop, a sound framework with 10 speakers, 19-inch wheels, and all-help frameworks. This model has an electric scope of just 80 kilometers, which isn't especially amazing. The planned rendition, costing €44,500, has all-wheel drive with an extra back electric engine, expanding the result to 238 kilowatts per 324 horsepower and 550 Newton meters of force. Notwithstanding, the additional weight lessens the electric reach to 70 kilometers. Both the lift and planned variations are set to be accessible in Germany in June. The most intriguing variation, however, it's the Solus adaptation that may be the most charming model of the bundle. It holds the equivalent powertrain as the lift yet accompanies a bigger battery, 26.6 kilowatt-hour limit rather than 18.3 kilowatt-hours. This extensively expands the electric reach to 125 kilometers. With its huge 60-liter gas tank, a hypothetical scope of 1,100 kilometers is reachable. BYD hasn't yet delivered the cost for this model, yet we're expecting a cost of around €41,000. BYD has gained huge headway in practically all parts of auto creation, as found in the slick SUV body of the Seal U DM-i, which isn't a long ways behind European-made models from high-volume makers. The inside offers an open-to-seating region and is furnished with top-notch materials. The vehicle likewise includes a 15.6-inch representation screen that can be pivoted among picture and scene directions. The vehicle displayed negligible blemishes during an intensive test drive. The suspension framework was sufficiently agreeable to deal with the frequently unfortunate Italian streets with profound potholes. In any case, the body would in general skip somewhat on longer undulations. The controlling could likewise utilize more accuracy. In any case, these are minor issues that most drivers presumably wouldn't see in their day-to-day drives. The rear-view camera, as well as other standard elements, helped address the typical going without any direction spots. The Seal U DM-i has two working modes. In the primary mode, it drives completely electrically, ideal for city use or clogged regions. In the subsequent mode, HEF, the petroleum motor backings the force of the electric engine, particularly during speed increase. You can likewise pick either 25 and 70% of when the 4-chamber motor re-energizes the battery, handling worries about German reach nervousness. Not a games vehicle. Be that as it may, the Seal U DM-i isn't a games vehicle in spite of BYD's case of a 0 to 60 miles per hour time under 6 seconds in the most powerful Plan model. The Plan is excessively agreeable, and the seats are customized for solace rather than speed. Don't bother surging an electric or, for this situation, semi-electric vehicle on the thruway. The Seal U DM-i, especially in the Solus form, stands apart as one of only a handful of exceptional modules equipped for covering medium to significant distances while residual simply electric in day-to-day existence. While we'll have to lead a more intensive test to affirm a potential scope of 90 to 100 miles, most would agree that the electric scope of 125 kilometers is a promising beginning. Chinese vehicle creators are progressing quickly, and BYD is no exemption. As a customer, you should seriously mull over buying a vehicle from China. Then again, as a driver, there isn't a lot to reprimand about this present circumstance. However, assuming you're facing the decision to save large number of euros or more on gear, individuals in the Western world might be influenced from here on out. All things considered, cash isn't the main thing that characterizes connections and reliability to neighborhood brands. The BYD Seal U DM-i variation lifts specialized specs. A mid-range, 5 entryway, 5-seater SUV. Length, 4.78 meters, width, 1.89 meters, with mirrors, obscure, level, 1.67 meters, wheelbase, 2.77 meters, trunk limit, 425 to 1,440 liters. Fueled by a 1.5-liter 4-chamber petroleum motor with 96 kilowatts per 130 horsepower and an electric engine with 145 kilowatts per 198 horsepower. Consolidated yield, 160 kilowatts per 218 horsepower, framework force, 300 Newton meters, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 8.9 seconds. Maximum velocity, 170 kilometers per hour. Utilization, 21 kilowatt hours plus 0.9 liters/100 kilometers. Electric reach, 80 kilometers. WLTP, complete reach, 1,080 kilometers. Battery, 18.3 kilowatt hours. Gas tank, 60 liters. Charging power, 11 kilowatts. AC, 18 kilowatts. DC, charging time, DC, from 30 to 80%, 35 minutes. Price, 38,900 euros. We were especially dazzled with how BYD seems to have tuned its heat security frameworks to make them less nosy in the Seal U, as well. Though already you'd be left diving into the menus to turn off the nannying path keep help, here you can leave it on without stressing it'll prod you forcefully left or right, assuming you stray even somewhat from your picked way. The Chinese were quick, there's no question about that. That will, without a doubt, be the huge fascination for family vehicle and company vehicle purchasers searching out a reasonable medium-sized SUV, not yet influenced by the plenty of unadulterated electric choices right now flooding the market. Capitalize on that electric reach and you could slice your expenses versus a like-for-like petroleum or diesel vehicle.